Pentagon spokesman Major General Pat Ryder.
Objectively speaking, a lapse in funding will cause serious disruptions across the Defense Department and is still avoidable.
Republicans added a demand by President-elect Trump to lift the debt ceiling for 2 years. The measure likely won't have enough bipartisan support and votes needed to pass. Luigi Mangione waived extradition today at a hearing in Pennsylvania and immediately flown back to New York to face federal charges in the killing of United Healthcare CEO. He's also facing state charges. Thousands of Amazon workers staged a walkout today at facilities across the U.S. over pay and benefits. It comes at the height of the holiday shipping season. Amazon says delivery services were not impacted and called it a protest. This is ABC News.
I'm Lisa Hale with WGBW News, your news roundup in quick podcast form. You can find it anywhere at the WGBW website, WGBW.fm. For 97.9 WGBW News, I'm Lisa Hale. A Dane County judge has placed a hold on his recent ruling that reversed parts of Act 10. Judge Jacob Frost ruled most of Act 10 is unconstitutional, including one provision that removed the right to collective bargaining for most public employees. The Republican-led legislature is appealing his decision and asked him to pause his ruling. Frost agreed to a temporary pause. The case goes to court January 24th, and the stay will remain in effect at least until then. According to the AARP, 80% of Americans were targeted by at least one holiday scam last year. Scams are so prevalent, they're a global business, says Grant Wheat, Vice President of Risk Management at Verva Credit Union.
This has become its own commerce, right? Fraud, scams is its own business now. In the U.S. alone, last year was the estimated $130 billion of American wealth transferred to scammers. And globally, we're looking at over a $3 trillion business across the globe when it comes to fraud and scams.
Wheat says to avoid being scammed, slow down, scrutinize every non-solicited email or text, and reach out to someone you trust before sending any money, gift cards, or Bitcoin. A recent Broadband Now report found that Wisconsin is one of the worst states in the country when it comes to broadband internet access. According to the findings, less than 80% of residents had access to broadband or high-speed internet, ranking the state 45th for access. State officials have been undertaking efforts to increase access, including hundreds of millions of dollars in funding for broadband infrastructure projects. Many of those projects are still in the construction phase and may not be completed for a couple of years. I'm Lisa Hale, 97.9 WGBW News.
The Pack is back in Green Bay. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. After an extra day off, the Packers are back at work, getting ready to host the Saints on Monday Night Football. Linebacker Quay Walker expected to be out a while with an ankle injury. Rookie linebacker Edgerrin Cooper named NFC Defensive Player of the Week after his performance Sunday night in Seattle. Matt LaFleur.
You know, he's a really talented guy. He did a great job. And, I mean, on that screen play where they hit Jackson Smith-Jigba out the backfield, that was just an elite play by somebody that has elite athleticism.
NBA, the Bucks in Cleveland tomorrow night against the Cavaliers. College basketball, Marquette with a win in their first Big East game of the season, beating Butler 80-70. Marquette now 10-2, ranked 9th in the nation. Head coach Shaka Smart.
You know, Butler's a dangerous team that's had some good wins on this season. Obviously beat us last year here, and I thought the way our guys handled adversity was way better this time around, and that's what allowed us to win.
That's Marquette Shaka Smart. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
Your news, conversations, and a whole lot of fun. It's all on your local Civic Media radio station or the Civic Media app.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Winter storm warnings continue tonight for snow showers and an additional 1 to 3 inches of accumulation, lows dropping to the mid-20s. For tomorrow, a gradual clearing, highs into the upper 20s. Sunshine partially for the weekend, near 20 Saturday, upper 20 Sunday. It's 28 degrees right now.
Take a break or get yourself going. The right cup of tea can get your day flowing.
Nothing warms you up on a cold day like a delicious cup of luxury tea from the Elegant Elephant Tea Company. Visit elegantelephanttea.com and use discount code WGBW for a 10% discount and free shipping for orders over $50.
Visit elegantelephanttea.com.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
when the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
The scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
I'll face a hurricane without meds. Now that's a tough pill to swallow.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Jim Schmidt with Lean Local. This week's show, we discuss stress during the holiday season with Kimberly Johnson from Johnson Counseling.
Lean Local. Broadcasting live from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay, this is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood.
Whatever gets you through the night, it's alright, it's alright.
And now, a guy who never leaves the house without wearing a cup, Pete Schwaba.
Welcome to Nite Lite, ladies and gentlemen. A Thursday night edition where we are lighting it up despite the weather. That's right. I don't like winter, but tonight especially, I say suck it, snow. We're going to light it up anyway. Conrad, you ready to do this?
You know, I think so.
Yeah, you can't fake enthusiasm like that. All right. We have a really fun show. It's great to have you here. I know Christmas is getting close. We finally it looks like we're going to have a white Christmas. I mean, I don't know what it's like in your part of the state, but here, I would say we haven't gotten quite yet what we thought we were going to get. Would you say that's
You know, I think
accurate?
we might not get a white Christmas, actually, because it's supposed to warm up.
When is it supposed to warm up?
I believe next week it's supposed to get up to 40s.
You know, that doesn't even bother me, and I almost hate to say that. I used to not even be able to fathom not having a white Christmas when I was much younger, but I'm okay with that.
I went to Florida for the first time, like, for Christmas 2 years ago.
Okay.
Now, I believe. And I was not bothered at all that there was not a white Christmas because I was warm outside.
That's exactly what it was like. Like, when I lived in L.A., the first year or two, I was like, this is so weird. And then by year 3 and 4, we started being able to take the kids to the park on Christmas Day. I was like, This isn't so bad. I got really used to it. So, yeah, it was fun. So well, I don't know. Maybe we'll have a white Christmas. It's going to be a great Christmas, though, folks. And we're going to help you kick it off here on Civic Media on Tuesday, Christmas Eve at 4 p.m. We are going to broadcast 2 hours before our regular time. And that will segue into nothing but Christmas music and Christmas carols here at Civic Media all the rest of Christmas Eve, starting at 6 p.m. through the next day, all Christmas Day. So that will be fun, and we will help send you off into a wonderful Christmas where you can't hear about politics or current events or even nightlight on Christmas Day. It's just going to be Christmas music. It'll be a lot of fun, and we have a great show. That show will be extra fun because we have a visit from Jimmy Stewart. Yes, we found him. We tracked him down. He will be joining us from the other side. He passed away several years ago. We still got him.
Wasn't it like 1990 something?
It's been a while. But I think he's itching to get back in the game. And yes, this is radio in Wisconsin, not quite Hollywood and Beverly Hills. But I think he could use a little bit of the limelight. So we're going to talk to Jimmy Stewart. We're going to talk to Santa Claus on Christmas Eve. We're going to talk about our traditions and all that kind of stuff. Luke Mathers has agreed to come on the show and take a quiz, a Christmas Carol challenge, we're calling it. So we'll do that with Luke. We got a lot of fun stuff planned on Christmas Eve. So, but tonight, this is exciting. It's Thursday. We're making our popcorn pick of the week tonight. And to help us do it at 6:35 is my old pal and podcasting rock star, Jimmy Pardo. You've probably heard of his podcast, Never Not Funny. And if you haven't, you need to check it out. He's hilariously funny and has fans just everywhere. Pardo got in on the ground floor, really, of podcasting. In fact, I remember when he did it being like, oh, that's an interesting thing to put your... I've been wrong about every iteration of social media or new trends. I missed I missed, what was the YouTube thing? No, before it was YouTube. MySpace. I missed out on MySpace. I thought YouTube was stupid. I'm like, who's going to want to watch people's home movies? Wow. But Jimmy had the foresight. He got on, and he has one of the most successful podcasts in the world now. So it'll be fun to have Jimmy here to make the popcorn pick of the week. And then we talked to Kim Shefchick will be here from Doctors in Recital. They have become sort of semi-regulars. They're so talented. They're going to be in the studio, weather permitting. I think we at least for sure have Kim, and she set us up with a couple of tunes. But if Paul and Chris Piat can make it too, they will be performing live in the studio. So we'll look forward to that at 7:05. And then our old pal Mike Clemens hops on the show to talk. What, Conrad?
Sports.
Yeah. Mike's going to talk sports. We'll ask him about the Packers and Saints matchup. I'm sure he's got a lot of stuff. It's funny, when Mike comes on the show, I have all these questions for him, but usually he just comes on and he starts rolling.
Yeah.
And it's like stuff that's even more current than what I was going to ask him about. So however Mike wants to play it, that's fine with me. He is so much fun to talk to, and he'll be here at 7:35. So there is your show. Tonight, we're going to have a little fun with Christmas carols. And we all have, you know what? Let's just go to the question of the night. Let's roll it.
Let's talk about the question.
Okay, question.
Question. Question.
Pregunta.
Question.
Question.
Okay, I have a question. Questions? This question.
Domanda.
Question.
Question.
Questions.
What is your least favorite Christmas carol? What is the Christmas carol that when it comes on, it almost takes you out of the Christmas spirit? I know for me, it's We Need a Little Christmas. I can't. There's a franticness to that song. It's almost kind of disingenuous. It's like, I think it's well-intentioned because, yes, we need a little Christmas for sure, but it's the way it's composed. I just don't like the song. And it takes me out of the season, takes me out of the spirit. I don't like it, Conrad. I don't like the song.
Who's that by?
I don't know. Who cares? It's a terrible song.
You know, I thought, didn't Maroon 5 do a Christmas song or something?
Did they? Not a huge fan of Maroon 5 either.
No, because I remember you saying you don't like Maroon 5. I forgot if it was Christmas music or something else.
No. What do you have on? What's yours? Oh, yeah. It's a beautiful, it's a tenor, right? Or is that a baritone? That's awful. You know,
See,
that makes me want to just put up my dogs playing poker poster and play that song. That's a terrible song, but I don't even consider that a song.
Yeah, no, it's whoever composed it put it to one group of people, and the rest of them I feel like hate it, like
Who?
us.
Like, what do you mean, like dog lovers?
Not just dog lovers, but lovers. Like dogs are their lives. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
but that's not even. I get, some people like pets more than other people, and that's fine, but that's still a bad song.
Yeah, no
Do
matter
your
what,
pet
it's-
a service and write a good song. And don't have the pet perform it, although that's probably a person. So that's Conrad's. What is that called? Dogs barking jingle bells?
Barking dogs, jingle bells.
Yeah, not even a clever title. They couldn't even think of a good title.
Jingle barks. I mean, come on.
Oh, there you go. I like it. We Need a Little Christmas. Just on the Google, it says originally sung by Angela Lansbury. And it was from the 1966 Broadway show Mame. And Angela Lansbury was in that show and performed it. I did not know that. Maybe there is a better version of that song out there, but it's so hyper. I just hate it. But what is your least favorite Christmas carol? What is the song, the Christmas song that comes on that just takes you out of the spirit? Or that you're sick of, or that you never need to hear again? Let me know at 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. What is your least favorite Christmas carol? I will be asking all the guests this tonight. I have no idea what Pardo will say. Or Mike Clemens, or Kim Shefchick, and the Doctors in a Recital. That was funny. On the Facebook on the social media blast we do every day here to promote the show. I think Amanda already dealt with this, but she does such a good job putting the social media post together. But our friend Mike Desatel, who has been on the show, said he thought it was called Doctors in Rectal. Read the post, Mike. Mike has a very earthy sense of humor. I know Mike. He's a good guy. But no. If that was if that was what your group was called, I wouldn't even have them on Nite Lite, because that would be obviously a bad joke or something. Sure? I mean, if I was desperate, maybe. No, that's terrible. So that's your show. It's a fun show tonight. And we had Pete Moore. This is it's interesting. Now that we've been on a year, we've had our own little anniversaries within that time. And last year, on this day, do you remember what happened, Conrad?
It was Jennifer Beals' birthday.
Yes, 1,000 times yes. Jennifer Beals, the star of Flashdance and many TV shows, a fine actor, went to high school with my buddy Pete Moore at Francis Parker in Chicago. It's kind of one of those lakefront schools, private school. And I always remember Pete telling me the story that he kissed Jennifer Beals in a play. Actually, I think it was his wife, Rami, that told that story. And we had Pete on the show last year. I thought, it's Jennifer Beals' birthday. It would be fun to have Pete tell that story on the show. And he did. He took us down memory lane. And that's how desperate we were for guests, like a week into the show. Not that Pete's a bad guest. Pete's a great guest, and he's hilarious. But I have a friend who kissed a movie star before she was a movie star. We put him on the radio to talk about it. And he was very funny. And remember, Pete came on to tell that story about Steve Carell.
Yeah.
They were waiters together at the Hard Rock Cafe in Chicago when they were doing Second City. And then we did something and we lost the file. I couldn't believe that. So we got to have Pete on again. He's so funny. And this is his day. So I hope he rejoices. He did say, I texted him to remind him of that today. And he said he saw her at a little reunion they had somewhere out in L.A. They have a mutual friend. And I don't know. He probably didn't bring up the kiss because it was like, I don't know, Pete's older than me. It could have been like 50 years ago. I have no idea. But that was a funny story. So
that would be a funny opener. Just be like, hey, remember when I kissed you?
Yeah. They were like 15 in a school play. And that's what it was. It's not like he really kissed her. It was a school play. Like he had to kiss her. She had to be kissed. So it was beautiful stuff. When we come back, we are going to read your texts. And they're going to be fun because our question tonight is, what is your least favorite Christmas carol? You know you have one. Share it. Text us. Message us on the app, on the stream. Just get a hold of us because I can already tell I'm going to like reading these texts. So Jimmy Pardo at 6:35. Podcaster extraordinaire will make the popcorn pick of the week. Mike Clemens is here. Kim Shefchick and the Doctors in Recital. It's a great night here at Nite Lite, and it's a great night for you to be here. I always love when you're here. So be part of the show. It's always more fun. This is Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite. We're coming right back on the Civic Media Radio Network.
The talk of Green Bay, WGBW, home for the Maggie Dawn Show.
The Todd Alba Show.
Luke Mathers, you let the dogs out.
I let the dogs out. It was me. After about 15 minutes, I go out there and I'm like, what is this mound? An opossum playing dead in the middle of the yard. I'm out there kind of hollering, like trying to corral the dogs. And then we finally got Aurora to come in the house, stepped away for a little bit, came back and was gone. I really hope that it remembers this traumatic experience and never comes back in my yard again.
The Todd Alba Show. Weekdays noon till 2 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app.
Ever tried balancing a dozen eggs in one hand while hopping on one foot? Or maybe juggling cats while riding the unicycle? Sounds ridiculous, right? But guess what? That's exactly what texting while driving is like. Your human brain only has the capacity to focus on one thing at a time. So when you're behind the wheel, give driving your undivided attention.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Mino and the Mayor.
You ever really want to get back at me?
Well, you're claustrophobic. That would really.
Oh, God.
Oh, that would be tough for you.
The worst.
You would talk like that.
Like
Get
that.
this.
Absolutely.
Get this. Put him in a drum and throw him in the water. He's claustrophobic and he can't swim.
Yeah.
I think we could get anything we wanted out of you.
Anything.
All right, Todd, mental note.
Mino and the Mayor, weekday morning 6 till 9 on 97.9 WGBW and 98.3 WISS, and on the Civic Media app.
The first time seeing my son, I feel like my life did a 180. He really a definition of like why he loves somebody.
Through all of fatherhood's first, never stop being a dad. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
It's easy to listen to your favorite local radio station anytime. Download the Civic Media app from the Apple or Google Play Store.
Right, I need to find an answer on the road. I used to be a hard.
So Eric from Lodi, he's in the 608, says, "Oops, you beat me to MAME. We Need a Little Christmas is a Johnny Mathis hit. I actually kind of like the song." Interesting. I don't doubt Eric. He's very well-read on such things, but, I would probably like hearing Johnny Mathis sing it better than any of the other singers I've heard, because I love Johnny Mathis. But I had no idea. Jim from Appleton says, too many to count. My favorite hardly ever gets played, The Carol of the Bells. Nice one, Jim. I don't ever hear that either. I think that, I don't know if it's a rotation, but you're right. Some of them you just don't hear. And the ones that are have been part of pop music, like Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas," great. Darlene Love has a great one. The name escapes me at the moment, but we don't need to hear some of these. I don't know. They need a new rotation or something. Because why don't we hear "Carol of the Bells"? Why don't we hear "Oh Holy Night"? Little Drummer Boy. Matt in the 608, he's from Richland Center, says the Chipmunks Christmas song. What a piece of trash. The only good Chipmunk song is the theme to Chippendale's Rescue Rangers. This text cracks me up because Matt is saying the Chipmunks, what a piece of trash, but then counters and says there is a good Chipmunk song, though, and it's the Chippendale's Rescue Rangers. That's very funny to me. Thank you, Matt. Great text. Anna from Madison says, "Hi, Pete and Conrad. My least favorite Christmas song is Feliz Navidad because it is played too much during the season." That's a great point. However, I do like that song. It's so happy, and it makes me want to go and live in that commercial, the Corona commercial where they light the tree. I don't know. There's something about that song I really like, and Michael Bublé does a good version of that with it's a duo, and I can't remember the name of the woman he sings it with, but I could see that, Anna. Yeah, they play that a lot. What do you think about that, Conrad? Do you like that song?
I really do like that song. I think it's a great. Every time it comes on, I will sing with it.
That's kind of how I am. For whatever reason, I don't get sick of that song. Now, I don't hear it every day. I don't listen to the radio much where they would play it, but when I'm in a restaurant or something, when it comes on, I do like it. 608 says, "Oh, Christmas Tree is the worst. My least favorite, and I'm a millennial." What are the millennial years again?
Let me look.
Go to the Google, because I'm curious now. I want to know how old the 608 is. Oh, Christmas Tree. Oh, Christmas Tree. Yeah, I could see that. That's been overplayed. Some of these, too, have been played for 100 years. So they kind of lose out on any kind of freshness or, I don't know.
They're born between early 1980s and the mid 1990s.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she'd be in her 40s, or low 40s maybe. Yeah, well, they play it a lot. I get it. And there are no right or wrong answers, folks. Whatever gets under your skin, I want to hear about it. Mark from the 608 says, "It's twisted, I know, but chipmunks roasting on an open fire." That's pretty twisted. I've never heard that, though, I don't think. Chipmunks roasting on an open fire. Eric from Lodi says, I absolutely hate the Chipmunk song. It kills the holidays for me. Now that I think of it, if I hear that song, I have to follow it up with We Need a Little Christmas. Coincidence? Interesting. Eric's go-to to pull him out of the dumps because of another song is the song I hate the most. I think that means we're friends. Mark from Prairie du Sac says, it actually makes me smile. That's very funny. Mark has maybe some shallow graves in his backyard. I don't know. Eric from Lodi says, the Chipmunk song Haters. Look up Chipmunks Roasting on an Open Fire by Bob Rivers. Going to the stream, Sarah says, Christmas shoes. Ha ha. And she put a little puke emoji. What's the Christmas shoes song? That's a story, right? Is it the one where they're reading? Not ours. That's not.
I was like, wait, is she talking about the Lifemark?
No. We did a parody of a Lifemark movie called The Christmas Shoes, which is pretty cheesy. But I think Christmas Shoes is also, it's like a song, but it's like spoken word poetry, and they play music behind it. I think that's what Sarah is referring to. So let us know what Christmas carol you absolutely hate, or the carol that takes you out of the Christmas spirit. Let us know. 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC, and we will read your text on the radio. Great when you guys are part of the show. Steve from Florida says, I just listened to the Christmas Shoes song, the most depressing song I have ever heard. I got to give that. Let's see if we can find a snippet of that, because it is. I remember it as being very depressing. There's like no cheer whatsoever. Sarah says this is a song. Okay, nice. I have to tell you, I've talked about this on the show. You know what? I'm not going to go there. Remember when I was telling you I get these texts for some woman named Yin?
Yeah.
Who's always trying to give her more insurance. They text me once a week, and it's not even. It's like this woman has never responded. So why do they keep texting her? And they're sending it to my phone. I'm tempted. I feel like Yin probably does need more insurance. It says, Yin, are you available? You are eligible to update your health plan for 2025. Call now to review options with a licensed agent. Stop to opt out. First of all, that doesn't work. I've clicked stop because I feel bad for Yin if her own insurance company can't reach her. But maybe they're so annoying and persistent she ditched them and never told them. Yin, you are eligible to update your health plan for 2025. I'm going to do this on the air, Conrad, with you as my witness. Stop, for the love of God. Okay.
I don't think they'll stop because you said that.
No, they're not going to. There is no God to these people because they keep sending it. It's just awful. Hey, a lot of cool movies open this weekend. Check out. I do the Hollywood Beats, and we're gonna post this on the website. It's so, and they're like not Christmas movies, but there's like good action, good family films. We'll go over that later in the show. All right, Jimmy Pardo is here. Coming up next, folks, after Civic Media's award-winning news team keeps you informed here at Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba. We will be back to make our popcorn pick of the week, and a very funny guy will help us do it, and the founder of the Never Not Funny podcast. Check it out if you haven't. Jimmy's coming up next. We got Mike Clemens later in the show, and Kim Shefchek, and the doctors in recital are here as well. It's a great night here at Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
They counted pennies for what seemed like years. Then the cashier said, son, there's not enough here. He searched his pockets frantically. Then he turned and he looked at me. He said, Mama made Christmas good at our house. Most years she just...
From De Pere to Swamico, 97.9 WGBW. This is your hometown radio, refreshed, keeping you informed, entertained, and connected locally across the Civic Media Network.
For 97.9 WGBW News, I'm Lisa Hale. The Wisconsin Department of Health Services has announced the first presumptive positive case of bird flu in a person in Barron County. The news comes just days after the county also saw the first positive test in a poultry flock. DHS officials are monitoring the farm workers who came into contact with the infected flock and may have been exposed to the highly contagious virus. Animal to human spread of the virus is not as contagious, but residents should check with their doctors if they show symptoms like a fever, eye infection, or muscle aches. The avian flu has been detected in wild geese in Brown County. A recent study found that Wisconsin residents are paying a smaller percentage of their wages on utility costs than most other states. The study conducted by Eden Emerald Hot Water found that Wisconsin ranked 13th in spending on utility bills, with about 12% of the average salary going towards things like gas, water, internet, and cable. It also found that the total average utility cost for Wisconsin residents was about $6,700 compared to the average salary of $56,000. Minnesota was the only Midwest state to rank higher. Reedsburg had the first. Elkhorn followed. Now a program that allows a mother to surrender a newborn is expanding again. Stuart J. Waddles had.
Hey, Jimmy, just doing a quick sound check?
Say it again?
Just doing a quick sound check.
Okay, how are you?
How's it going?
Good. Is this Conrad?
Yes.
Hey, Conrad. Nice to talk to you.
Yeah, that sounds great. Thanks.
Great.
We'll be back in about 3 minutes.
Sounds good.
97.9 WGBW News. For news anytime, log on to WGBW.FM.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Can you imagine not even having contact info for your parents? That's how Trinity Rodman is rolling these days, saying her father, Dennis Rodman, is only her dad by blood. Trinity, who is a professional soccer player for the Washington Spirit, appeared on the Call Her Daddy podcast and said her father's hard-partying lifestyle as an NBA player was not conducive to him being a good parent. I believe that's true, but he did make a beautiful bride. FX's series The Old Man has 2 seasons in the books, and that is all, folks. The show about an ex-CIA operative played by Jeff Bridges performed well in its first season and received 2 Emmy nominations. Season 2 received 3 Critics' Choice nominations, but that did not stop FX from pulling the plug. Despite this, it's a pretty good show if you want to check it out. For more showbiz fun, tune in to Nite Lite with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
You can always continue the conversation on social media. Share your thoughts when you find and follow Civic Media on Facebook, X, and Instagram.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Winter storm warnings continue tonight for snow showers and an additional 1 to 3 inches of accumulation, lows dropping to the mid-20s. For tomorrow, a gradual clearing, highs into the upper 20s. Sunshine partially for the weekend, near 20 Saturday, upper 20 Sunday. It's 28 degrees right now.
Do you know or work with kids who have special healthcare needs? Help them live their best lives. Contact Wisconsin Wayfinder Children's Resource Network. Our specialists will connect you with services in your area. Wisconsin Wayfinder is free and confidential. Call 877-947-2929 or visit dhs.wi.gov/WISCWAY. Connect today. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
The Maggie Dawn Show.
Cindy from Appleton.
Time Magazine has made the convicted felon the man of the year this year. Shame on them.
Time Magazine base their person of the year on impact and news making. The CEO assassination is pretty much the only news cycle that isn't entirely focused on Donald Trump, and yet it still relates to him because he has no healthcare policy.
The Maggie Dawn Show. Weekdays from 2 till 4 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the Civic Media app.
The next New Wisco weekend is all about the winter holidays. I'm Lisa Hale. Join Terry Barr and myself as we take a closer look at solstice, Christmas, Kwanzaa, and Hanukkah.
Saturday morning at 8, Sunday at 11 on WGBW.
Jim from Appleton says, Pete and Conrad, it's always a great night on Nite Lite. Thank you, Jim. And Judy from Lodi says, okay, Chipmunk Christmas song, annoying for old school and Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas, so repetitive and way overplayed. Judy from Lodi. It is, but like Feliz Navidad, it hasn't gotten under my skin yet. But I respect your thoughts, Judy. Thank you for chiming in. You can all answer the question of the night. We've got many more texts to get to, which we will. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's Thursday, and that can only mean it's time for our popcorn pick of the week.
It's time for the Nite Lite Popcorn Pick of the Week, where we recommend a movie that you'll either enjoy or won't. Here's your host, Pete Schwaba.
All right, this is exciting for me. Joining us now to help us make the popcorn pick of the week, we're going to see what his pick is one of my oldest friends and the creator of the wildly popular podcast, Never Not Funny. He's also an incredibly funny stand-up comic. Jimmy Pardo joins me now on Nite Lite. Hey, Jim.
Hello, Peter. How are you?
How's it going?
Good. It's good to see you wearing a shirt out of the Tim Walz collection. That's, what are you doing? What, your listeners know what you have on?
Conrad, what did I say when I walked in tonight?
I just know Jimmy's going to make fun of my shirt.
I'll be disappointed if he doesn't make fun of my shirt. It's cold here, Jim. It's been mild, and I was in a hurry because I came to Green Bay and I stayed overnight. I just grabbed the first long-sleeve shirt I could find. Yeah, and I'm like, if he doesn't make a McLeod joke, I'm going to be thinking he's losing it or something.
I went Tim Walz. I went more topical than McLeod. You know, I love McLeod. I love Dennis Weaver. I'd like to say I love that shirt, but I don't want to lie to my friend. That thing's a nightmare.
You know what, Jim? I'm a little under the weather. It's warm. That's all I could tell you. You're right. I have better shirts, even though I'm not necessarily a shirt guy. This is not my best effort.
I mean, you'd have to have better shirts. I mean, every other shirt in the world is better than that thing. I know we're on radio, but
this is the worst shirt in the world?
I think it is, and I've got one with a swastika on it. Your shirt's worse.
He can make that joke because he's married to a Jewish girl.
Yes, I do not have that. I do not have a shirt with a swastika. I apologize. I tried to go.
Wow.
Dark.
Let's see if we can.
That's how bad your shirt is. It's the worst. Never seen a shirt that bad.
I think I got it at Ross. It was like $7. It was an impulse buy. I've got darker pants on, so there's a nice. It's earthy up top, and then I got some garden in the bottom. So
I don't know what that means, but I appreciate the garden reference.
I'm not at my best, Jim. That's why.
No, you're under the weather. Are you okay?
No, I'm fine. And I wanna take you on a quick trip down memory lane because this came up yesterday. I thought of this when you told me you'd love to do it, but you had a dentist appointment, or possible dentist appointment. So I remember years ago, I was in your and Danielle's wedding party, which was an incredible honor, and you were one of my best friends, and I was an honor to be a part of it. We roasted you a couple of days before your wedding. Mm-hmm. And there was a lot of guys there, and I said, even though, I said, I'm surprised you can make it here because you weren't at a doctor's appointment. You always had a doctor's appointment. So I asked what was wrong with you, brought down the house, Jim. It was maybe the last laugh I got in front of a full room.
Uh-huh.
I want to walk that back because I'm, A, much more sensitive now, but B, also because of HIPAA laws. I don't need to be saying stuff like that. I don't need to know what is in your medical past. But I'm concerned about your teeth. You had an appointment for the dentist. Is everything okay?
Teeth. I almost called you Teeth Schwaba. We call you Teeth Schwaba behind your back, right? You know that's the thing we do.
I don't have good teeth. That's okay.
Oh, I don't know if that's true. I've never noticed you not to have good teeth.
I mean, they work. They're fine, but yeah. You, on the other hand, have one of the best sets of teeth in the business.
Well, here's the problem.
People say that behind your back.
I'm going to tell you something. I've been very proud of my teeth my entire life. I've got a good set of choppers. There's no doubt about that. But in the last month, something's gone awry. Pete, I've had 3 root canals in the last 3 weeks.
What?
Yeah, here's the thing. I had some tooth pain, and we couldn't narrow down which tooth was causing the pain, so they had to basically throw darts, and we finally got it. It took to the 3rd tooth before we got it. The good news is the 2 teeth that it wasn't probably were going to go bad soon as well, with some cracks in them and so on. But having some teeth issues, but nothing that's not going to slow me down. I can still talk. I can still eat popcorn. I can still eat. Last night I had some popcorn. I had a hot dog and a popcorn in a movie theater.
Oh, nice.
And I like snacks. I like eating, and my teeth provide.
Here's my issue. I had a crack. I had a filling. One of the fillings, the top of the tooth came off. They put a cap on it.
Yeah.
The cap is terrible. It was a terrible job. Nothing feels right in my mouth since I had that. So the other side, same thing happens. I'm like, I'm not fixing this because it's worse. So I've been living with a cracked tooth for a year, and it's fine. It feels better than the tooth I had fixed.
Why don't you go to a different dentist? It sounds like your first guy with the cap. Did he put a cap on? What's the cap look like? Does it look like a mortarboard, like your graduation cap? Because that's probably not a good fit. Does it look like a baseball cap? Shouldn't look like that.
No, it just looks like a tooth. It looks like a tooth. It's white, but there's like a little wrinkle in it. It's weird. Yeah, maybe.
I'd like to see you go to a different dentist, Pete. I really do. I'd like to see you go to a DMD instead of a DDS. I think that's what you need to do here.
Should I wear this shirt?
I wouldn't wear that shirt ever again. I would use that. I know you said it was very cold there. I would use that for kindling. I would throw that in the fire and get that thing blazing.
It's supposedly flame retardant. I don't think that would even work. That's so bad.
No.
Oh,
There's no way to get rid of that shirt. That's like a haunted shirt. You're stuck with that shirt forever. You throw it away. All of a sudden, you go back in your closet. It's hung back up.
Right, I can't get rid of it.
Can't get rid of it.
Jim, all right, I got to be honest. When you first, we were talking about this a little bit earlier on the show. You got in on the ground level of podcasting.
That's right.
And I said I missed everything. What was the MySpace? I missed YouTube. I thought that was stupid. Nobody's going to want to watch people's home videos. I was wrong about everything on social media or new technology.
You and me both.
You crushed it. Yeah, well, not you.
Except for the podcast.
Yeah,
You're right.
You got a podcast, and I had my doubts because of the double negative in the title, but it's working for you.
Yeah, the title's a mistake. Even though we're 19 years in, I wish we'd got it with anything else.
Really?
Yeah, Never Not Funny is it lends itself to people going more like Never Funny, and that's we get those people, and then they adjust their red hats and move on. But I'm very lucky. Matt Belknap came to me 19 years ago and asked me if I wanted to start a podcast, and I said yes. So it's while my name is on the show, he's the guy who had the idea, and I'm very, very grateful. It's given me a career, and here we are. Hoping to God Jason Bateman stops doing podcasting so I can move up the rankings.
Oh my gosh. Does that bother you when like really famous people start podcasts? It's like not even fair. They've taken all the commercial work and now they're doing podcasts. It's ridiculous.
It all happened during the lockdown, Pete. These famous people couldn't make movies. And so their management went, hey, why don't you try a podcast? And then all of a sudden, rich people, movie stars are using Zoom or whatever platform to talk to their buddies to do a podcast, and then they realized that they can make a ton of dough out of it. And so when the industry opened back up, they went, well, I could still take an hour every Monday to be on and make millions of dollars doing a podcast. So it does bother me because I did this because I wasn't, I was between jobs.
Right.
This is for me. Jason Bateman, go back to being a movie star.
Yeah.
You have it.
Exactly. You got enough on your plate. You don't need to be doing this.
Got enough. I've got nothing, Bateman. Why take this from me?
Well, you've got
I'm not
nothing.
upset.
I mean,
no, I'm the best. I'm very
but
lucky.
you've got
my teeth are falling out of my head. It's a disaster. I can't afford dental because Sean Hayes has to have a podcast. Right? Will Arnett has to talk on Zoom once a week, and I've got chiclets falling out of my skull. I don't know what I'm saying.
Chiclets is good. Piano keys would have worked too. Whatever. Not that your teeth are too big. They're perfect.
They're not perfect. What a weird thing to qualify.
Listen, we're both married. I can say that with no weirdness. You have great teeth, and I just mean they're not too big. They're not too small. You've been dealt a nice. I
got a nice hand. I'm 5'3.5", but God gave me good teeth.
Your teeth make you look like you're 5'11".
Boy, oh boy, I'm top of the world, that Pete. Hey, Pete, speaking of being married and such, do you remember the time, and I know we have to talk about movies in a minute, but remember the time you and I went into Caroline's Comedy Hour in New York, and then on the flight back, you turned to me and said, as your wife, Mary, and my then girlfriend, Jennifer, were picking me up at the airport, you said, hey, let's hug and kiss goodbye when we get to the airport and see how they react. And I said, yeah, let's do that. And then they're there to pick us up, and I turn to you and hug you and kiss you, and you don't remember that was the plan, and you wonder why it's happening.
Like, what's your story, man?
You're like, wait, what's going on, Jim? I mean, it was a nice trip, but what's that? It was your idea.
I can't remember anything, Jim. I honest to God, you ever get that? Like, someone will come up to you and remind you of something you did, and you have no recollection. Graham Elwood and I went to a movie somewhere in Michigan where the only two in the theater. He went up to get snacks. And I remember taking my shirt off and just being bare-chested. He says I took all my clothes off.
No.
And I don't remember that.
No, you took your shirt off. And then what ended up happening is for some reason throughout Michigan, the lore became, hey, Jimmy Pardo went to the movies once and took his shirt off. And I was like, no, that's not me. That's Pete Schwaba.
How did you get roped into that?
I don't know. I think because you and I are friends.
Yeah, probably. He wears better shirts, though. So,
well, I am today.
Jimmy Pardo is my guest. Check out his podcast, Never Not Funny. It's great. And if you're lucky, you can see him. He doesn't do as much stand-up anymore. But where can people see you, Jim?
You know what, Pete? The only thing I have on the books is my residency at Flappers in Burbank, California. I have nothing on the books for 2025. I've got to change that. I've got to get to Milwaukee. I had a connection there. That guy's never. I'm mad at you. You somehow blew it for me. I wouldn't mind getting back to Appleton. I've always had great success in Wisconsin. Madison.
Oh, they're all great. Comedy on State is like, I guess it's a hard club to get into. They have such great comics come through there. It is such a well-run club. I can't even get a sniff. I can't get anybody on the show from there. The owners, I'm like, look, I'll give you free. I just want to talk about comedy.
Yeah.
They don't need it, you know?
Yeah, they don't. They're doing. I was last there before the 2016 election. That's how long it's been since I've been there. And I got a little political on stage, and they didn't care for it.
In Madison. Wow. Okay.
I'm as surprised as you are.
Interesting. So, Jim, all right. Yeah. So, do you have a favorite snack? Like you said, you went to the movies. You got popcorn and a hot dog. We've been to several films together over the years, but I can't remember. What is your favorite movie snack?
Well, first of all, why would you remember that? That seems like something you just said. I can't remember anything. If you remembered my favorite snack, that would be really weird.
But that's the kind of stuff I do remember.
I know.
Remember you saying we were going to see The Rocketeer, and I said one for the Rocketeer, please. And then you went up behind me and said one for Oscar, please. The Sylvester Stallone gem, and I lost my mind laughing at that. So
I don't know why we laughed so hard at that, but boy, we did. We laughed like idiots.
It was funny.
1 o'clock in the afternoon, sober. But laughed like we were drunk at 2 a.m. Pete, here's the deal. And I told my son Oliver, 17-year-old Oliver, who, by the way, Pete, completely off topic. My son did stand up for the first time last week.
I think I saw that post and I think I clicked heart because that is really cool, Jim.
He did 7 minutes and it was fantastic.
Oh my gosh.
It was really
where?
At Flappers in Burbank, California. He went up and he did dude, it was, if he sent that tape around today, he'd get work. That's how good of a set it was.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I was real proud of him.
So what's he going to do? Is he going to try to get more sets, or is he like, all right, I did it?
I think he's going to, maybe go up some more on my shows. I don't see him at the moment anyway. Like, hey, Dad, drive me to the Improv. I want to do a set.
Right.
But he could. He's he's ready. And I say that as a comic, not as a dad. You know what I mean? Like we know when somebody's got it. The kid's got it.
Here's why I believe you, because you wouldn't do that to your kid. You wouldn't say, you've got it, go up at other places.
No.
And, I'm dealing with the same thing. I'm like, I wouldn't tell you if I thought I would say, try this instead or do that. And I wouldn't put my kid through that. No way.
You and I have lived this. It is
so
not
great.
easy. It's horrible. The heartbreak. Anyway, movie snacks. So, Pete, what I do, and I told Oliver this because it's my go-to sentence that nobody seems to be interested in, but it's finally on topic. I don't care if I just left Morton's Steakhouse and had the biggest steak and potato and vegetable meal. If I then go to the movies 1 minute later, I'm still getting a large popcorn.
Oh, that's so great.
I don't care what I just ate. I could have been in an all-you-could-eat buffet. If I'm going to the movies, I'm still getting the large popcorn, layered butter, delicious.
Yeah. So you are already my favorite. I mean, you're one of my favorite guests because of who you are, but your enthusiasm towards popcorn, that's incredible. So let's do this. We're going to do a very short break, and then we'll come back and get the popcorn pick of the week. And I might have a couple more questions for Jim, too. And I'm going to do a quick wardrobe change. Conrad, give me your hoodie. This is Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
I don't know what I'd do without you, babe. I don't know where I'd be. You're not just another lover, no, you're everything to me. Every time I'm with you, baby, I can't believe it's true. When you lay in my arms, you do the things you do.
Talk of Green Bay, WGBW, home for Matinee on Air.
From the Lake Shore to Lake Winnebago.
Door to Fond du Lac counties.
Northeast Wisconsin is special for many different reasons. I'm Lisa Hale.
And I'm Terry Barr. Family and fun.
Safe communities and friends. We're featuring all of it as part of New Wisco Weekend, a news magazine show just for you, and highlighting what makes the Fox Valley and Green Bay area a great place to live. Join us.
New Wisco Weekend, Saturday mornings at 8, Sundays at 11 on WGBW and WISS and the Civic Media app. Mino and the Mayor.
I'm going to admit something that I normally would not admit. A lot of times I don't wear underwear.
We got to go to a break.
I don't have a cart, and I'm carrying this stuff.
Yeah.
I got my finger in the loop, holding my pants up, because they would literally go down. And twice, people stopped me. Hey, John Mino, as I'm trying to hold my pants up and hold my stuff in my arms.
Mino and the Mayor, weekday mornings 6 till 9 on 97.9 WGBW and 98.3 WISS.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
You are listening to your local Civic Media radio station on air. Thank you. Did you know we are always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app too? And if you miss a show or game, find it wherever you get your podcasts or on our website, civicmedia.us.
Out here in the middle of these acres, it can feel like you're the only person on earth. That's how it feels when you're struggling with your mental health. But you don't have to feel alone. Find
Here I fall, I wanna drive them on. When you're feeling blue, I think it's just of you.
Welcome back. Our question tonight is, what is your least favorite Christmas carol? What is the song that just completely takes you out of the season and spirit? To me, it's Need a Little Christmas. Conrad, I think, secretly likes the dogs barking.
No.
But we're reading your text, so let us know what you think, folks, on the stream or on the app or on the old-fashioned text line. All are fine. Jimmy Pardo is here. He is the host of the Never Not Funny podcast. You have to check it out if you haven't. It's fantastic week to week. Jim, so, all right. So that was really impressive. You love popcorn. Even if you have a full stomach, you're still getting popcorn. My wife is like that. It's just it's like a sense reaction or something when you go to the movies, right?
Yes, I feel I feel like an emptiness, like a void if I don't order popcorn or like if I am having dental work and I have to get nachos or a pretzel instead, it just doesn't feel right.
Interesting.
Wow,
that's fantastic. All right, so that reason alone, Conrad, I think we're ready. We're going to make the popcorn pick of the week. We're going to hear Jimmy's pick, and he has good taste in movies for the most part, except for Oscar, so we're going to go with this. Drum roll, please. Jimmy Pardo, host of the Never Not Funny podcast. What is your popcorn pick of the week?
The Order.
I have not seen... Jim, I have... All right, I'm geeking out here. I went to a wedding in Chicago last week. It's not at my hometown theater. I went to this wedding in Chicago. There's a 20-screen multiplex across from my hotel. I missed it twice. I am desperate to see that movie, and you're saying it's as good as I am imagining it.
I enjoyed my son, the aforementioned Oliver. He and I went to see it just last night, Pete.
Wow.
And it was great. Jude Law was terrific. And that Nicholas Hoult, is that how you say his name?
I think so, yeah.
A very tall, handsome, beautiful man. Terrific actor. It's really, really good. It's, it's got, that culty weirdness that I like in a movie. It's got, a little cat and mouse.
Yeah.
It's good. It's really good.
That's fantastic. That's a great pick. I'm excited to see it. It's reviewing well. Audiences like it. Jude Law is great. I like Jude Law, and I like a good heist film. And,
it's a good heist film. It's my actual review of it as Oliver and I were walking to the car was, hey, I'm going to call this movie very, very good. I'm not.
Okay.
I don't know if it crosses over to great, but I'm giving it very, very good. I can be talked into great.
I'll take very, very good any day of the week. I still want to see it. That's fantastic.
It's a talkie.
It's a.
I don't know.
Do you have a favorite snack when you're binge watching TV, Jim? Do you still go popcorn, or when you're in the privacy of your own home, do you change things up?
Boy, I still might go microwave popcorn.
Nice.
If I'm watching a movie at home, yeah, that's my go-to snack. It's pie.
Okay.
God, oh, I love popcorn. I just love it, and my gut will let you know that too. It's
kind of a good snack. It's kind of healthy in some ways.
They call it nature's broom, don't they, Pete?
Yeah. I hadn't heard that in a while, but yes.
I heard that once. Years ago, and it stuck with me.
I'm going to remind you of a story.
Oh no, not the Taco Bell.
What's the Taco Bell story?
Oh, you made fun of me. Some jerk told me once, if you after a show at midnight, make sure you eat Taco Bell because it goes right through you. You won't gain weight. And so I believed it. I'm eating burritos at 3 in the morning.
I said, I'm watching what I eat. And you said, no, it's Taco Bell. It goes right through you.
Yeah,
I'm, like,
I'm an idiot. I don't know what I'm talking about.
You doubled down.
Yeah.
Like, that's not what I was going to say.
What
All right,
were you
here's
gonna
the
say?
story. There was a girl. I'm not going to use her real name. She was a comedian. Not that great, but she was kind of down on her luck. We were all hanging out after a show. Let's say her name was Penny.
Okay.
And she was saying, I just get the feeling I'm really starting to doubt if I'm at all funny. And before she got the word funny out, you said, Penny. It was so Chevy Chase and I had to walk away. I was laughing so hard. I'm like, I don't think she thought you were just being silly. But you kept her going for a while.
I need you, and I'm very serious. You need to text me the name of that person when we're done.
All right.
I need to know. I need to remember who I said that to.
We'll do that. Okay.
I'm very supportive of the young people. You know that.
You are. What do you have a favorite Christmas movie, Jim?
A favorite Christmas movie?
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, that's a great question. Boy, I don't know if I do, Pete. I wish I was. I wish I had this question in advance so I could have asked my wife if I do. Because
You really got to go to the well that deep for a favorite Christmas movie?
I don't know. What's Love Actually? That's a Christmas movie.
Oh yeah, that's a Christmas movie. That's a good
I like
one.
that movie.
Trading Places, It's a Wonderful Life, Christmas Vacation, Home
I like
Alone.
Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
Do I have a favorite Christmas movie? I don't know. I don't know if I have a favorite. I don't know if, like, hey, let's sit down and watch that to get me in the mood. I don't think I do, Pete. I apologize. I've let you in.
No, I kind of love that you don't, because most people I've asked this whole season, they have it right there.
No.
But I kind of like that you don't really necessarily have one. Last thing for you, buddy. Do you have a Christmas song you never need to hear again?
You know what? I love this. I love the song "Last Christmas" by Wham.
Great song.
I don't like it by anybody else. Like, and I'm a Taylor Swift fan. I love Taylor Swift. Even her version, I don't want to hear it. I want to hear the Wham version, and that's it.
Wow, that's great.
So I guess
could
that's
totally
it.
see that. Yeah, I could totally see that. Jim, this is so much fun. Thank you
Always
for
fun,
coming
Pete.
on. Take
I'm
care
honored.
of those teeth, and I'll go shirt shopping. We'll forget this ever happened, and we'll move forward.
Happy holidays.
You too, buddy.
See you, pal. Thanks for having me.
Anytime.
Be
That's
well.
Jimmy Pardo. Check out the Never Not Funny podcast, and let's see if we can get Jimmy in Wisconsin here doing stand up. He's very funny. That was fun. So is this shirt really that I had to stave off laughing?
It's hard to look at.
I knew he was going to say that.
It's hard to look at.
Hard to look at? I mean, it's not a great shirt, but it's serviceable.
I don't
All
know.
right.
Now that it's like can't even catch on fire with it.
I don't know that actually. It was all right. The Doctors in Recital. Do we have the Doctors in Recital? How are we
They're
looking?
here.
Oh, they're all of them?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they did it. These guys are gamers. Doctors in Recital coming up next. Then Mike Clemens at 7:35. Talking sports. This is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Hobart to Bay Settlement, 97.9 WGBW. Dom Selvia.
Next time, will the Musk-Trump GOP get to a plan C to fund the government before midnight Friday? Also, what impact does the ABC-Disney settlement have on journalism? Tune in.
The Dom Selvia Show, weekdays 4 till 6.
Hey, it's John Mino.
And Jim Schmidt from Mino and the Mayor.
Want to stay in the loop with all things Northeast Wisconsin? Sign up for the WGBW weekly newsletter.
Get the latest local stories, updates on the weather, and a special feature from our Mino and the Mayor podcast.
It's your one-stop shop for real news and great conversations in Northeast Wisconsin.
Log on to WGBW.FM today and get signed up.
Real news, great conversations. Sign up today at WGBW.FM/newsletter. Enjoying this local program? Find the complete Civic Media lineup at civicmedia.us or the Civic Media app. This is 97.9 WGBW Denmark, Green Bay's real news and great conversation, a Civic Media radio station.
ABC News, I'm Richard Cantu. The vote 174 to 235 with one present, and the House Republican stopgap funding measure goes down to defeat. The measure needed after billionaire Elon Musk and then President-elect Trump trashed a bipartisan measure. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries.
The Musk-Johnson proposal is not serious. It's laughable. Extreme MAGA Republicans are driving us to a government shutdown.
The White House accused Republicans of doing the bidding of their billionaire benefactors. Luigi Mangione waived extradition and is back in New York City to face charges in the murder of the United Healthcare CEO. Apparently not happy that his vehicle somehow wound up in a landfill in Lee County, Illinois. Authorities say Jared Babler stole his own car from that landfill. Police found it at Babler's home in neighboring Ogle County. He's now facing a bunch of charges. This is ABC News.
Civic Media, Wisconsin's source for real news and great conversation, offers podcasts of all of our daily shows online and on demand. Simply go to civicmedia.us, click on daily shows, and choose the podcast that you want to download. Shows are updated daily, or you can save them and listen all at once. Our podcasts are sponsored by UW Organ and Tissue Donation. You are an organ donor, right? Talk to your family. Get the dot. Save lives. Learn more at heroicdeed.com.
Oh, the holidays are here, and it's time to pick a present from the grown-up gift list with Civic Media's statewide Text to Win contest. Listen while you work for the keywords to text for your chance to win $100 cash, an overnight vacation at Chula Vista Resort, and be entered to win one of the grand prizes, a robot vacuum, new luggage, humidifier, espresso machine, and more on the grown-up gift list at civicmedia.us. Just download the Civic Media app and listen weekdays at 7, 11, 1, and 4 for your chance to win in the statewide contest. Ho, ho, ho!
For 97.9 WGBW News, I'm Lisa Hale. When all is said and done, Winter Storm Asher is expected to dump at least 6 inches of snow on northeast Wisconsin. Snow plows will be out across the state. The Wisconsin Department of Transportation is reminding drivers to give snow plows space to do their job. Stay back at least 200 feet. Slow down. Most winter crashes are caused by drivers going too fast for the conditions. Use extra caution if you decide to pass. Snow plows can create clouds of snow that obscure visibility, and road conditions in front of the plow are probably worse. Visit 511wi.gov for the latest in road conditions and traffic hazards. One person died and another was injured in a single vehicle accident last night in the town of Lebanon. Officials say the vehicle missed a curve and hit a utility pole. The driver died. The passenger was airlifted to a hospital. Officials believe alcohol was a factor in the crash. According to the AAA, it's going to be one of the busiest travel seasons we've seen in a while. And if you're traveling by car ahead of Christmas, you'll be happy about gas prices. The national average will likely hit $2.95 per gallon on Christmas Day.
Wisconsin adds a wide receiver. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. After learning their top wide receiver, Will Pauling, is entering the transfer portal, the Wisconsin Badgers football team added a prospect from Ohio State, 6'3" Jaden Ballard, leaving the Buckeyes for the Badgers. NFL, the Packers begin 3 days of practice through the weekend as they host the New Orleans Saints on Monday night. College basketball, Marquette with a Big East Conference win over Butler, 80-70. Cam Jones with 23 points. The UW Green Bay Phoenix losing at home to Division II Michigan Tech, 72-70. Head coach Doug Gottlieb, under fire for still hosting a national sports talk show, is now 2-11, losing their last 8 in a row.
It doesn't feel good, but I think when you say rock bottom, it would lead you to believe that like Michigan Tech is some like schlummy team. Like they got some really good players, they're very well coached, and they're on a win streak. And the big thing is, the hardest thing to teach in coaching is how to win.
As Green Bay head coach Doug Gottlieb, with sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
I'm Lisa Hale with WGBW News. Your news in depth. Find it in the news section at WGBW.FM.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Winter storm warnings continue tonight for snow showers and an additional 1 to 3 inches of accumulation, lows dropping to the mid-20s. For tomorrow, a gradual clearing, highs into the upper 20s. Sunshine partially for the weekend, near 20 Saturday, upper 20 Sunday. It's 28 degrees right now.
Mino and the Mayor.
You ever really want to get back at me?
Well, you're claustrophobic. That would really.
Oh, God.
Oh, that would be tough for you.
The worst.
You would talk like that.
Like that. Absolutely.
Put him in a drum and throw him into water. He's claustrophobic and he can't swim.
Yeah.
I think we could get anything we wanted out of you.
Anything.
All right, Todd, mental note.
Mino and the Mayor, weekday mornings 6 till 9 on 97.9 WGBW and 98.3 WISS. And on the Civic Media app.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed. Oh, yeah? Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too. Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Earl Ingram.
On the next show, we'll discuss Elon Musk's sinking of the latest bipartisan budget deal and the impact it will have on you with my regular co-host, Sandy Williams.
Broadcasting live from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay, this is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood. And now, a man barely 6 feet tall, but a mountain of muscle, Pete Schwaba.
The Doctors in Recital are dancing to our intro. So we're doing disco.
It was good. I liked it.
I like when you guys are here because you're so up all the time. You have to be because the Doctors in Recital is a cool show. Listen, we were talking about our question of the night is what is your least favorite Christmas song? We had an interesting little discussion. I don't want to try to recreate it, but you guys really lampooned some classics. You don't like Mariah Carey.
Mostly Paul lampooned.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I've been working on Christmas for a while now, so I might be Christmased out, if I'm being honest.
But you don't like Mariah Carey. You don't like Lennon.
No. It's not that I don't like Mariah Carey.
Sorry,
I don't care for
the
that
song.
Christmas song.
Yeah. Did you ever like it and got sick of it, or were you just from the get-go, you're like, this is not my thing? Okay. And what did you guys say?
Santa Baby.
Santa Baby. That's a bad one, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, not everything has to be sexy.
Santa Baby.
Yeah.
I think I don't really have a Christmas song. Like, I'm trying to think, which one do I always skip? You know, when I'm listening to the Spotify, whatever. I don't know that I ever skip a Christmas song. Maybe I like them all. No, that
This
can't
is
be.
just sucking up right now. You're sucking up to God and Santa Claus, and come on,
I
Kim.
am trying to stay on the nice list. It is a fact.
These are the voices of a fraction of the Doctors in Recital.
A
Kim
very
Shefchick,
small fraction.
Chris and Paul Piat are here. You guys almost didn't make it. How are the roads? I was worried you weren't going to find your way in.
Better than I thought they would be.
Not too bad.
And how far away do you live?
Swamico.
Oh, yeah.
So
it was all right. We took the
normally
back roads.
10-ish minutes away.
Yeah.
It took us maybe 15. We drove
That's not too bad. I always know, like I said, we're not going to get a bad storm if my wife expects a snow day or gets excited about it, and with the kids too. They would get mad at me. I'd say, it's not going to happen. You're going to school. And they're like, Dad, why are you so... And then I'd be right. And I'm like, because when I'm wrong, you'll be happy. And I don't want you to go there and expect a snow day because it's not good.
It's true. No. There were many happy children today when it was announced we were let
Did you get out early? Okay,
2
early
hours
release. That's not too bad. What do you like better, a late release or early release or a late start?
Ooh, I know that's a tough call.
Yeah.
And I'm not a teacher, but I would pick a late start.
Late
'cause
start,
you get
yeah,
to
same.
sleep in, you get to
Right.
enjoy your breakfast. But only if a late start, only if you know ahead of time, so
Yes.
you don't set the
Otherwise, you
alarm.
don't really get to
Because if you
sleep
set
in.
the alarm and they call it late, then you're up. So then I end up going in right away anyway. Then.
But then you have no minions bothering.
It's true. So as a teacher, then you get the time. It's quiet. You can get your room all ready.
It's true. Get things done.
Not that I would know. I would never survive a day in your classroom.
I've been in my classroom for a day, and you survived.
Not alone.
You
Coming
walked
from-
away limping. but
Coming
you-
from someone who's around sick people all day.
Yeah, sick people are easier than middle schoolers, especially when they gang up on you and they all have to go to the bathroom at the same time, and then who knows what they're doing in the back row. It's craziness. Craziness.
What the heck happened at the schools you went to? And hey, we've got Doctors in Recital to talk about. You guys have a show coming up.
Yes.
I want to hear you guys play a couple tunes. So let's get to the January 25th at the Widener.
The last Saturday in January. Put it on your calendar if you don't have it, at the beautiful Widener. We have reserved seating this year, which is actually kind of fun because we used to have this pretty full house that people would show up like 2 hours early to grab their seat because it was first come, first serve. But now it's reserved seating. And we still have some great seats available and just a wide variety of music like always. But I'm pretty biased. I think it's well worth the money. $25 and up are tickets, and you will never see anything else like it.
No, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
How did this start?
Well, I like to call her our fairy godmother. Lucinda Roberts is still our executive producer of the show. She, at that time, was working at Hyde Music with the Steinway pianos, and Steinway was kind of looking for a way to publicize their pianos, get people in the store to buy pianos. And she said, why don't we get some people in the community who play piano? She knew a bunch of physicians who happened to play piano, and, she decided to throw together this little Doctors in Recital. So it started more with a piano focus, but it's really evolved into a multi-dimensional instrumentation, voices, music, eclectic tastes all over the place. But we raise money for a good cause every year, and we like to say our tagline is making a difference by making music.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
So were you surprised, Kim, at how much talent there was from people who aren't professional musicians?
Oh, yeah. The first year I went was the second year. I never saw the first year. The second year I went and watched, and one of the physicians I worked with at the time, Dr. Yoon Chun, I still work with her, but she was somebody who literally turned down a scholarship to Juilliard to go to medical school, and she is a phenomenal pianist. And she asked me to participate, and then the next year I ponied up and brought my friends with, and the first year we did Nora Jones, right? Yep. Was that our first year? Yeah. That was really cool. Still one of my favorites.
Does it bother you that there are people in the world who are smart enough to get into med school and talented enough to get into Juilliard? I mean,
it's not fair.
It's just wrong.
What to do? What to do?
I'm sure she's a nice person, but come on. Let's do a random. I'm going to ask you a random Doctor in Recital performer, and you tell me what you know about them.
Oh, this is fun.
Pardon me. All right, here we go. This guy right here.
Oh, Dr. Gerndt.
Dr. Gerndt.
He's a cardiothoracic surgeon.
Sounds complicated.
Yeah, it's just a little bit complicated, and actually a genuinely nice guy. He actually enjoys biking. And I know that because I've run into him out biking. He tried to retire, but he still is working part-time at Bellin. He has a beautiful voice, so he likes to sing. He's not one that wants to have a solo, but he sings in groups.
Okay.
And he's got a great voice.
It says he does the national anthem a cappella.
Mm-hmm. With a group of guys. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Interesting. All right.
Mhm.
Good luck, Steve. Break a leg. I feel like I know him after. All right. Do you guys have something you want to play for us?
Sure. What do we want to do?
You want slow? Do you want fast? Do you want something relaxed?
Listen,
Christmas carols
your
for
dime, your dance floor. Christmas carols are fine. Just something.
All right.
Whatever you guys think.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Doctors in Recital.
Sweet head, the stars in the sky looked down where he lay. The little Lord Jesus asleep on the hay. The cattle are lowing, the baby awakes, but little Lord Jesus, no stay by my cradle till morning is nigh. Be near me, Lord Jesus, I ask thee to stay close by me forever and love me, I pray. Bless all the dear children in thy tender care, and fit us for heaven to live with thee there.
That was unbelievable.
Rocking the baby in the manger, or whatever I sang. I don't think I got all the words right, but I can't read upside down.
Kim Shevchik, Paul and Chris.
You have
Piaf.
other talents. It's
You guys
okay.
sound so good together. You know what I like the most? I love, Chris, you gave Kim a look and you guys just smiled at each other while you were singing. That adds such a cool element of performing. I just
You know what it is? It's that Belgian string of unity. We come from the same
true.
motherland.
You do?
We do. We
Oh,
do.
We
wow.
like to pretend we're related, but who knows? We're both like from this family of immigrants, and we've never actually looked at it, but I bet we have a common denominator.
Other than
We've known
waffles.
each other forever too.
But what is that? It's a Belgian thing? Like people just
So
are they closed off when they're not singing, but then when they sing they're very gregarious, or how does that work?
you
I
know,
just think we've been doing it for so long
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
I love
I mean,
it.
truly, we both paid for college by singing for weddings and funerals together, which is
Oh, wow.
something kind
It's
of
true.
odd, but actually how we bonded.
It is.
It was good.
Especially this time. So Kim also plays organ.
Oh boy, very badly. Like very badly. So you'd go to a piano, like a church, expecting a piano, and it had this organ. I'm like, oh crap, I don't know how to do it. And then there's the foot pedals. So Chris would be underneath playing the foot pedals, so I
my
could play the keys because I don't know how to do the foot pedals. They're like a
that's
giant keyboard, but I can't do that.
So she would play, and I would be underneath playing the pedals with my hands.
That
We've
is
been through some
hilarious.
things, let me tell you.
We have.
That's a music war story right there.
That's right.
I really do love, and like when bands are playing together and the guitarist will walk over and or like Springsteen and Little Steve. It's just it adds something
for sure
on any level, even if it's like community theater or whatever. You love seeing people have fun with what they're performing.
Yes.
We have we don't have a time to do another song before you go to a break. But what do you guys want to do? What do you want to do? Is Doctors in Recital all Christmas music? It's
Heck
after
no,
the holiday.
It's no Christmas music.
I saw the clips you sent. You did something for Mamma Mia. That was great.
Yeah. It is not Christmas music.
No.
We decided tonight because the snow is falling and, we can see the trees from the Schreiber office building. I mean,
Yeah.
it's very festive.
Yeah.
But no, our show is no Christmas music. I can't even think of a single time that we had anything that was considered a holiday song. But
You sound like you're angry at Christmas music, Kim.
I am now because you told me I had to not like one.
That took a turn real quick.
It did take a turn.
Just
Well,
like
because
that.
by January
Serious
25th,
escalation.
you're sick of it, right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh my gosh, another Christmas song.
I know. I don't know why I always thought of that as like a Christmas performance, but you're right.
It is not.
Okay.
No. We, I mean, if you're somebody who likes classical, we've got that. If you're somebody who's like into pop music or jazz or funk, we're doing a Dolly Parton song. We're closing the show with
Which
9
Dolly
to
Parton
5.
song?
9 to
Oh,
5.
nice.
Which is going to be really fun. Might have some big hair, especially Paul.
Yes.
Get him
Oh,
some
that
big
would
hair.
work.
You're gonna get me some big hair?
We'll get you some.
What
big
about
hair.
If you get me some big hair, I will wear big hair.
I mean, we make it fun. It's
What about
fun.
Here You Come Again? That's a great Dolly song.
Oh, I like that one.
That's a good one.
Here come again.
All right, Doctors in Recital are here. They're going to they're going to reflect over the next minute or so for this break and figure out what they want to play next. So great to have you guys here. This is Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
We learn more from a 3-minute record than we ever learned in school. Trying to hear the neighborhood drummer sound and feel my heart begin to pound. So you're tired, just wanna close your
97.9 WGBW and WGBW.FM. The Todd Alba Show.
Luke Mathers, you let the dogs out.
I let the dogs out. It was me. After about 15 minutes, I go out there and I'm like, what is this mound? An opossum playing dead in the middle of the yard. So I'm out there kind of hollering, like trying to corral the dogs. And then we finally got Aurora to come in the house, stepped away for a little bit, came back and was gone. I really hope that it remembers this traumatic experience and never comes back in my yard again.
The Todd Alba Show. Weekdays noon till 2 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app. The Maggie Dawn Show.
Cindy from Appleton.
Time Magazine has made the convicted felon the Man of the Year this year. Shame on them.
Time Magazine base their Person of the Year on impact and like news making. The CEO assassination is pretty much the only news cycle that isn't entirely focused on Donald Trump, and yet it still relates to him because he has no healthcare policy.
The Maggie Dawn Show. Weekdays from 2 till 4 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the Civic Media app.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
when the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
The scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
I'll face a hurricane without meds. Now that's a tough pill to swallow.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Fear you may be missing out? We're always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app. Enjoy listening live or catch up by finding the podcast at civicmedia.us or wherever you enjoy listening to your podcasts. You are never far away from your favorite radio station. We're always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app. And if you missed your favorite show or game, listen to a podcast.
There's a problem with feathers, iron, bargain buildings, weights and pulleys. Feathers hit the ground before the weight can leave the air.
What do you guys think of this shirt?
I like it.
Do you?
I actually was
Thank
going to
you.
say, I really like that shirt.
All right. See, I think Jimmy's just jaded.
Because I felt a little self-conscious that I have a cat on my shirt.
That's acceptable, though. I mean, this season. This is not a Christmas shirt. It looks like something McLeod would wear when he's about to go bust somebody. And my pal Jimmy Pardo called me out on it, and I knew he would. I thought to myself, why am I wearing this shirt when Pardo was on the show? It's the first thing he said. So thank you for saying you like it, though.
I like it.
It's serviceable.
I do like it.
The doctors in recital are here. Kim Shevchik, Chris, and Paul Piat. Great to have you guys in the studio. It is time to play Meet Another Doctor in Recital.
So fun. Oh, you picked a good one.
Did I? Good. Okay.
Oh,
Tell us about
She
Tina.
is so amazingly
Tina
talented.
Sourhammer?
Now, okay, you joked
Is that a
before.
stage name?
That is her real name.
Okay.
You talked before and you joked about, oh, is it really fair that they're smart and
Oh, no.
talented?
Yeah, you
Okay.
picked another good one.
She graduated from medical school, okay, at
Okay.
22. So she graduated from
What?
college, GB, I think at 17 or something.
She was there when I was there, like
17 or 18.
And I think she was
So-
16 when she was there.
Yeah. So she graduated from college early, graduated from medical school when most people are graduating from college, became a plastic surgeon, and then also subspecialized in pediatrics plastic surgery. And she can play the cello like you would not believe. And she's beautiful.
She
She's
served as Miss
absolutely
Wisconsin in
gorgeous.
2003
Yeah.
and won the preliminary talent
Yeah.
competition. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't
Literally
like her.
Miss Wisconsin. And she's super nice and very generous, donating her time. She's
Oh,
been,
she wasn't just in the past. She was Miss
she was
Wisconsin.
literally Miss
yes.
Wisconsin. She competed in Miss Miss USA, right? After
Yeah,
that.
I think so.
So she was, so many amazing things so far in her life, but her business, she's an entrepreneur. I think she's building a new building now. Her plastic surgery and aesthetics and dermatology clinic is very, very successful.
And now you're going to tell me she's actually building the building. She's the one constructing it.
Probably.
Good
She's
Lord.
constructing the blocks with her bare hands.
I would love to set Conrad up. Is she married?
She is.
She is.
I'm trying, man.
I appreciate it.
All right. What do you guys got for us? What are you thinking?
Well, we were
Love
thinking
to
of
hear
bringing
another
some
tune.
joy to the world.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll work.
Oh, there we go.
maybe Pete even wants to sing with us.
You should sing with us.
Do you think I'll do like a Phoebe thing on Friends when I have a cold? It'll sound great. This could be my one chance to be a good
He's
singer.
gonna have that real jazzy voice going.
I'll join in when I can.
We
I'll
could do
surprise
Smelly
you guys.
Cat if you want.
No, please, let's not do that.
I don't actually
I'm
know
allergic.
that one. I'd have to figure it out quick.
You don't need
Well,
the
you
guest,
said
Paul.
Phoebe, so you know.
Oh my god. Okay, here we go.
Conrad, don't laugh if I join in.
You should.
Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room. And heaven and nature sing. And heaven and nature sing. And heaven and nature sing. Joy to the world, the Savior reigns. Let us our songs employ, while fields and floods, rocks, hills and plains repeat the sounding joy. Repeat the sounding joy. Repeat, repeat the sounding joy. He rules the world with truth and grace. That's Pete. And makes the nations prove the glories of his righteousness and wonders of his love and wonders of his love and wonders of his love.
Wow.
All right.
Thank you. I didn't know the word. Like I only knew a couple, and I don't want to.
Joy, world.
Joy,
Love.
world, joy.
And the first time I jumped in, I was like, "Ooh, let's pull that one back, and then I'll get my second wind here and go at it." But you guys sound so great. So, what can people expect in terms of if they come to see the Doctors in Recital January 25th at the Widener Center? How long is the show?
Every year is a little bit different. And I'm going to guess this year's probably going to go about 2.5. So we start at 7 and we have usually about an hour and a half show, first act. Then we have an intermission. We have the Griffin Strings Quartet actually playing in the lobby for our intermission. They're one of our recipients with their educational show they take on the road for our community. And their playing is just blow you away. I mean, they're professional musicians. That's their day job and their night job. And then our second act, we try to keep a little bit shorter, but it will definitely end with high energy, like I mentioned, with my friends. And the Power Tool Horns from Big Mouth, the local amazing band here in Northeast Wisconsin. The Power Tool Horns, so the four-horn member of their band will be coming. They'll be in our show in various acts. So we bring in some local musicians. Our drummer in our house band, Steve Seitz, he's awesome. He plays in several bands. He plays in the Packer band whenever you see the little Packer band that goes around.
I've actually met those guys here. They were here during the morning show once when I was here.
So Steve's our drummer. We just have a great eclectic group of really talented people.
Nice.
You'll see talent. You'll see variety.
So who's the leader? Are you kind of one of the shot
I'm the board
callers?
chair, which means
Kim's the
I
boss.
get to carry the mantle of responsibility, I guess. But we have a board. Our executive board has been a very close group for many years. So several of us have been involved for a long time, and in taking various roles. But so it's definitely not all me, thankfully. I'm not the treasurer or the secretary. I'm not the money person.
What is, do you have a history, Kim, with embezzling or what?
Let's just say
You'd be okay with the money. The secretary part would be bad because no one will be able to read anything.
Yeah, my handwriting's bad. I'm pretty good with organizational skills, but it's my system, not probably everybody's system.
We've learned a lot about Kim Shevchik here tonight. You guys, thank you so much for braving the elements. This is so much fun. Good luck with the show.
Fun.
Break
Thanks
a leg.
for having us.
Maybe we could even squeeze in one more of these beforehand because there's so much fun having you guys here.
We would love it, and we won't do Christmas music if it's past Christmas.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. We'll figure it out.
Christmas is next week, so I'm going to go with.
I'm going to go
It
with
will be
what I'm
past
going to be in
Christmas.
before.
Yeah, you could pick the genre. We could
Yes.
you could ask your audience.
We'll
is there
do
a
that.
genre?
All right.
All right.
Doctors in Recital. Check it out January 25th at the Widener. Thanks so much, you guys. We're coming right
Thanks,
back
Pete.
with Mike
Thanks,
Clemens.
Conrad.
Green Bay, WGBW. This is your local civic media radio station. Want to hear even more? Anytime? Find all of it at civicmedia.us.
For 97.9 WGBW News, I'm Lisa Hale. Do you find this time of year to be one of peace and joy or of hustle and bustle and chaos? Civic Media's Melissa Kay has a story on avoiding seasonal stress.
The holiday season is portrayed as a time of joy and celebration, but holiday stress and anxiety can impact your mental health. It's best to focus on what you truly enjoy instead of trying to meet unrealistic expectations.
Only spend what you can afford. Make a budget. Plan ahead. Recognize that there are alternatives to spending.
Janet Wimmer is a clinical therapist with Aspirus Health. She said the picture-perfect holidays portrayed in advertisements and media can lead to frustration and increased stress when our expectations don't always align. She said it's important to plan ahead and set boundaries to maintain your mental well-being during the holidays.
Choose carefully. Don't be afraid to say no to invitations to party or bring something to eat or bake something or bring a gift.
Choosing the activities and traditions you truly enjoy will help protect your time and energy this holiday season.
Gift cards are one of the more popular gifts around the holidays, but be careful when you're buying them. Wisconsin Consumer Protection Director Michelle Reinen says criminals have ways to take money out of those cards if you're not careful. Only buy gift cards directly from the retailer and inspect the cards before you buy them to see if safety features are still in place. And never use a gift card to pay someone over the phone. That's one of the favorite ways for criminals to take your money. From local news to what's going on around the state, Civic Media's mission is to bring you real news and great conversation. I'm Lisa Hale, 97.9 WGBW News. For news anytime, log on to WGBW.FM.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Jim Carrey was serious about retiring from acting until he wasn't. The actor told the Associated Press that he was going to retire, but bought a lot of stuff and needed money. Desperation is not a very good negotiating tactic, so I'm guessing that is why Carrey probably walked back his comments to comicbook.com, saying he was joking. You can catch Carrey in Sonic Hedgehog 3 in theaters December 20th. In Where Are They Now news, one of the lovable thugs in Home Alone was played by Daniel Stern. You might remember him as the guy who had maybe the greatest scream in movie history when Macaulay Culkin put the huge spider on his chest. Stern posted a video on Blue Sky showing what he is doing now, tangerine farming. He gave his followers a tour of his studio and fruit squeezing apparatuses. It was actually really cool. For more showbiz fun, tune into Nite Lite with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Local radio for you and your community. It's Civic Media's mission with stations across Wisconsin. Find your favorites at civicmedia.us.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Winter storm warnings continue tonight for snow showers and an additional 1 to 3 inches of accumulation, lows dropping to the mid-20s. For tomorrow, a gradual clearing, highs into the upper 20s. Sunshine partially for the weekend, near 20 Saturday, upper 20 Sunday. Current temp is 30.
Hi, I'm Michael Friedman, CEO of Simple Life Hospitality. Let us take the hassle out of vacation rental property management. We'll maximize your earnings and handle every detail from cleaning to maintenance and repairs. For guests, enjoy a stay that feels like home with hand-selected properties, personal touches like local recommendations, and extras like concierge service that will make your trip unforgettable. Whether you're a homeowner or a traveler, experience the Simple Life. Visit simpleliferentals.com.
Oh no, my phone.
Hear that? It's the sound of a skater dropping her phone and smashing it on the ice. Yep, it's definitely broken. But at Verizon, we got you. That's right, now's your last chance to trade in any phone, any condition from one of our top brands and get a new Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus on Unlimited Ultimate and Watch 7 and Tab S9 FE 5G. That's up to $1,900 in value. So you'll save big on 3 great gifts. Only at Verizon. Service plan required for watch and tablet. Up to $1,900 value based on phone, watch, and tablet. Trade in and additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
Maggie Dawn.
Happy holidays, everybody. For my last show before I go on break, I'm joined by political editor Dan Schaefer for his naughty and nice lists and his wish list.
I'm not worried about playoffs.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs?
I'm not worried about playoffs. Not worried about it. I'm worried about us continuing to get better, staying in the moment, focusing on what's right in front of us, and it's by attacking our practices the right way and just building our habits. And it's all about how we improve throughout this process, and whatever happens, happens.
Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
Welcome back. You still have time to get in on tonight's question if you want to play along. We're going to read your text right before the end of the show. We got to play some catch up there. But what is your least favorite Christmas carol? Let us know at 855-752-4842. You can also text us on the stream or the app. Plenty of ways to get a hold of us, but just get a hold of us. It is my pleasure to welcome, and that was such a great bumper, one of my favorite guests on the show. He does such a great job. He is sports, ladies and gentlemen, and his name, you know him as Mike Clemens, joins us now. Hey, Mike.
Hi, Pete.
How you doing?
Pretty good.
What was that a parody of Allen Iverson saying practice?
Well, sort of. It was Jim Mora, who was the head coach of the Colts at the time, and they were struggling near 500 and had all kinds of aspirations of making the playoffs that season. And he's like, playoffs, I'm trying to win a game here. I'd like to have like a 3 or 4.
Yeah.
It's about 30 years ago, but it's a classic.
That's great. Now that you say that, it totally sounds familiar. So you're in Green Bay, as I understand it. That's always exciting, knowing I'm in the same town as you, Mike. What's going on? What are the Packers looking at hosting the Saints? They don't seem like much of a threat, but because of that, are they a threat? I mean, the Packers are right there.
Saints have been playing hard, but they've been going through quarterbacks. Derek Carr, who came over from the Raiders, he's now got a broken left hand in 2 places, and he's out for the season. Taysom Hill was a guy that the Packers should have held on to, and they didn't have to make him a quarterback, but maybe, what Sean Payton made him down in New Orleans is a gadget guy, a tight end, a special teams player, and a backup quarterback. But he was actually in for quarterback a couple of weeks ago, torn ACL, done for the season. So now they're down to a second-year guy and then a rookie named Spencer Rattler. I think they took in the 5th round this year. And so Spencer, you saw him during the preseason with kind of a live arm at times, and they tried to start him earlier in the season, then they had to pull him and put another guy in. But Spencer Rattler is the rookie is going to get to start on Monday Night Football.
Wow. In the cold here at Lambeau. That's exciting.
Yeah, and so today, LaFleur said, hey, the forecast says we might see more of this Monday night. Well, guess what, guys? We're going to practice. Since we have the opportunity to do this, let's have a practice in snow today, and they did. Jair Alexander was back out there. He's been out like a month with a torn PCL.
Right.
That was as far back as the Jaguars game. And he practiced a couple of days last week, and then they pulled him on Friday because they said, you're not ready. You're not close to 100%. And so he was back out there today. I would think that they would really like to get Jair Alexander ready and 100% by next week when they have to go up into the Dome and play the 49ers and Justin Jefferson, the best receiver in the NFL. Javon Bullard is a rookie out of Georgia. He's had a tremendous year. And they moved him from safety to nickelback, but he injured his ankle a couple of weeks ago. I saw him walking around the Hudson Center as opposed to being in the training center during practice, but I doubt that he'll be ready for Monday night as well.
Okay. So the Packers have some injuries now, Mike. Will this affect how will they rest guys down the stretch? I mean, they're not in it for the conference. It's going to be either Detroit or Minnesota, right? Are the Packers going to rest people, or what do you think?
Yeah, it's not like the Packers are in the race to win the division and maybe get home field advantage and a bye and that kind of thing. They're going to be a wild card team. One guy that got injured in the game Sunday night out in Seattle was Quay Walker, and he's the guy that wears the green dot, the radio helmet, calling the defense. And he injured his ankle, and that's going to be week to week. He wasn't anywhere present today. But one guy who's filling in and coming back at inside linebackers is Edgerrin Cooper, who they got in the second round out of Texas A&M. And after missing 3 weeks with a hamstring injury that happened in practice, he was out there Sunday night. He played in 57% of the snaps. He was all over the field.
Yeah.
Had 5 tackles, a couple of sacks, a clutch interception that kind of shut down the game with about 5 minutes left. I mean, he went for the cycle. I even had a buddy of mine who used to cover the Vikings. Now he's out with the Broncos. He says, "Who's this Cooper guy?" And I talked to him about him. He says, "He looks like Von Miller. Remember Von Miller when they went to the Super Bowl with the Denver Broncos?" I said, "Wow, that's pretty." So they're excited about him. And today we're saying to LaFleur, "Why aren't you playing this guy more?" And and he basically said, "He's a rookie. I'm not ready to put the radio helmet on him and have him quarterback the defense and call the defense. There's a lot more involved in that. I'll have one of the veterans like Eric Wilson do that instead while Quay Walker's out for a while. But certainly we will put him in. And he's also just coming off, this hamstring injury, a soft tissue injury. So, but, he's going to be a good one. He's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I remember asking the same thing. I was watching the game. I'm like, who is this guy? I've never even heard his name before. That's pretty good value. I mean, second round, you expect a guy to contribute, but that was an impressive performance. So let's talk, Mike, the new documentary, the Aaron Rodgers documentary, Enigma. You asked Matt LaFleur about this. I didn't understand exactly, he claims Ted Thompson played a role in getting Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, and Jordan Love to Green Bay. What did LaFleur have to say about that? Was that controversial in some way?
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago we learned that there was a documentary by Gotham Pictures. Is that New York-based? coming out, and it was going to be on Netflix, and it's called Enigma. And, I mean, there's at one point, when I saw clips of it, the trailer, you see Aaron Rodgers in a jungle in Costa Rica with war paint on and half naked, sitting around a campfire with some of the local folks there, chanting. Like, what in the come on? So it's supposed to track his comeback from his Achilles. Then also someone said, "Oh boy, there's this interview where he went down to Mississippi and sat with Brett Favre." I'm like, wait a minute, he did that like 6 or 7 years ago. We found out about that. We'd ask him about it, off us to the side. And for a couple of years, we'd say, "Hey, that thing with you and Favre, is that coming out yet?" So this makes me think that it's an Aaron Rodgers production, and that interview has been on the shelf, and now 5-6 years later, they're throwing that in. So whatever, they followed Aaron the last year and showed him all through his story of the rehab with the torn Achilles injury, and and his excursions in life and spirituality and et cetera. And they came to Green Bay last May. I found this out a couple of weeks ago, and they sat down with Matt LaFleur. So there's this tweet that says, "Wow, have you seen this thing?" Matt LaFleur says that Ted Thompson was not only responsible for drafting Aaron Rodgers in 2005, but he advised Ron Wolf back in 1991, "You should get this Brett Favre guy from the Falcons," and that after he had retired, he advised Brian Gutekunst, "You should take this Jordan Love guy." And it's like, well, wait a minute, at the time. First of all, Ted didn't start with the team until Ron had already made the trade for him. I know this whole story. I was there for it, and there was a great play Sunday night where Jordan Love made an Aaron Rodgers-like play, a free play for a penalty, where he got to Tucker Kraft. So I asked him about that, and I asked about this. Well, I asked LaFleur, what's the story that you now know that Ted Thompson was responsible for all three of the quarterbacks? Do we have the audio?
Conrad, do we have that? That's what I was trying to ask you about. Yeah. Let's play that.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. I don't remember saying that, but apparently I did. I don't know if they cut it up. I think what we were trying to do was draw parallels to Ted drafting Aaron and to Goody drafting Jordan. So I think, but I don't know how it got edited or whatnot. But Ted Thompson had nothing to do with the drafting of Jordan Love. I think there was some lessons learned, him doing what he did when he drafted Aaron. And I think you see it all across the league. You better have a quarterback. Otherwise, life can be very, very difficult. And Goody obviously made a great decision, one that does take courage, because in the moment, you're going to get a lot of flack for it. And it was the case however many years ago when Aaron was drafted. It was the case, was it 5 years ago now, when Jordan got drafted. So it takes courage in that moment. But by no means was I trying to reference that Ted was the reason that we drafted Jordan.
When I see Jordan Love take advantage of a free play and get a ball to Kraft the other night, how much of that was watching Aaron do that and things that you work on with this team?
Yeah, I would say that was a big part of it. You know, that's something that, you know, as an outsider before I got here, you're always intrigued, and how do these guys get so many free plays? And having learned that, we all kind of learned that from Aaron, and Jordan's taken ownership of that and doing a great job, number one, with his cadence. And then also when teams sub, sometimes you take advantage of that as well. And we've had multiple situations where we have been able to take advantage of that. And that ultimately comes down to the quarterback.
Mike, what is when Rodgers left, what is his relationship right now, do you think, with LaFleur? Like, I've never heard them badmouth each other, but do you think they were happy to be separated?
Oh, I don't know about that. It was just, at some point Aaron decided, it was time that he wanted to move on for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And, they've got their own, teams to deal with.
Right.
And Aaron was taking guys from Green Bay, which LaFleur was not crazy about because LaFleur was being left with a really young team.
Yeah.
But it all worked out. But on this play on Sunday night, there's Jordan Love with his back, to the wall there against the end zone, and a Seahawk jumps offside. Josh Myers, the center, wisely snaps it, and now the refs haven't stopped the play, so Jordan's got the ball in his hand. Tucker Kraft is aware, like, hey, free play. Goes out for a pass, and Love hits him about 25, 30 yards downfield. And I said to Jordan today, on those free plays, do you credit Aaron Rodgers or Coach LaFleur for that?
It's definitely something that it's been a staple in the offense since I've been here. And, that's credit to Aaron and, just the work that they've done with it. But it's definitely an advantage and a tool that we practice all the time. And, when we do get the defense to jump, it's a credit to Josh to be able to snap the ball and, be able to get that play off so we can take advantage of, turning a free extra 5 yards into a big play. So it's something that we spend a lot of time on in practice. And it's definitely fun when it comes to life in the game and we can execute it. And obviously, Tuck making a big time play, big time catch, just kind of boxing a guy out. And turning that free extra 5 yards into a big explosive play.
Do you ever get sick of getting reactions from players and coaches, Mike? You're so good at it.
Do I ever what?
Do you ever get sick of being in a locker room and just getting guys to open up like that and tell you about?
Oh, no.
I mean, it just seems like such a fun environment.
It is. Here's a great thing that happened. I asked LaFleur about a play that happened Sunday night, where they kind of took their foot off the gas in the third quarter, and they had to do some punts, and after having a brilliant first half. So there's one play, if you watch the NBC version of it, where the camera's behind him, and you see Jordan Love back to pass, you see this linebacker just come blitzing in, untouched, and you back up and go, what is going on? And you see Josh Myers, the center, he's starting to help out Sean Ryan with Big Cat Williams, the big defensive lineman for the Seahawks, and totally ignoring this linebacker. Like, what kind of a stupid decision is that? And Collingsworth didn't pick out about it. And fortunately, Love is able to dump it off to the running back, Josh Jacobs, over the middle. And they picked up like 4 yards, but I thought he could have been killed. So I asked LaFleur about that play. He says, yeah, I don't remember that play. I've been watching all the Saints tape. Yeah, I'll look it up for you. So then I asked Jordan Love, and he goes, yeah, I don't know anything. And then after all the cameras left, all the reporters, he waved me back over. And I went up to his locker room. He says, inside screen. It was a planned play.
Oh, that's
Let
great.
the linebacker shoot in, and that opens up over the middle. And if we can dump that ball to Josh Jacobs, man, he can turn up the middle. Now, there was another corner that was trailing him, that was spying on him. But if that guy hadn't done that, he could have been a little short pass over the middle, and then it's Josh Jacobs right up the middle between the hash marks for 30 yards or who knows what. So that's the fun part.
Yeah.
That's the fun part.
That's fantastic. Mike, thank you so much for jumping in tonight and helping us out, and keep up the phenomenal work. Great to talk to you, buddy.
Thank you, Pete. Have a good night.
You too. All right, that's Mike Clemens. You can follow him at Mike Clemens NFL, right, Conrad? I think that's his Twitter. He does such great work. I love having Mike on the show. All right, we're coming back to read your texts, ladies and gentlemen, as we wind down this Thursday edition of Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
I recently talked to Amanda Clayman, a financial therapist and an all-around excellent person. We talked about how to reduce money anxiety, and her advice was really helpful. She said, unless we have a time to do money, we don't have a time to not do money. Meaning, if we set aside some time to think about and manage our money, it lets our brain stop worrying about money all the time. For example, I have a monthly money meeting with myself, which lowers my money anxiety and helps keep me on top of my finances. If you don't already, set and keep that money meeting with yourself. It'll help your wallet and your peace of mind. Remember what Amanda said, unless you have a time to do money, you don't have a time to not do money. For more everyday money tips, check out workmoney.org. Till next time, this is Carrie Joy saying, take good care.
I'm Dan Schaefer. Let's recombobulate. Big news in Wisconsin this month, as much of the controversial anti-union Act 10 law was struck down in a ruling by Dane County Circuit Court Judge Jacob Frost. 2 takeaways on this. 1, the ruling gets at the heart of what has always made this law so brazenly political, by defining public safety employees differently from general public employees. That decision was pretty clearly made not based on across-the-board policy, but on which unions backed Scott Walker for governor in 2010. It would be fitting if that is what ultimately spells the end for this controversial law. Secondly, this case is headed to an appeal, which almost certainly will end up at the Wisconsin Supreme Court. While this case still might be decided by the court's current 4-3 liberal majority, it's a good reminder of just how important the upcoming race for state Supreme Court will be.
Find all of Dan's work at the
Funny, last night when I was asking Radio for Pets, when they were in the studio, I said, who are your influences? And they listed off several bands, including The Cure. And I think we played that song when we went to break, and Billy's like, oh, and the Smashing Pumpkins. Like, he was almost kind of mad that he forgot about the Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah, the Smashing Pumpkins are great.
Fantastic. We have a great show tomorrow night. Matt Miller will be here to talk about movies and TV and Christmas movies, and Matt is pretty much up to date on a lot of stuff, so it'll be good to talk to Matt. And then it is a bar band Friday night. Terry Barr will join us for some music talk and some great conversation. Terry's always so much fun. Steve from Florida says, I just listened to the Christmas Shoes song, the most depressing song I've ever heard. Yeah, I'm surprised more people didn't say that, although a lot of people did. I just kind of forgot about the song. I know Sarah mentioned that when she texted in on the stream earlier. Steve says, Grandma got run over by a reindeer and rocking around the Christmas tree. Yeah, definitely. Grandma got run over by a reindeer. That's a curious, why would you write that song?
I don't know. Yeah,
another novelty that got stuck in the rotations of holiday songs is terrible. I don't know. Your mom doesn't like it either, though, because she texted in the same song.
I wonder how it even became a song. Like,
someone wanted to see their grandmother killed.
Right.
It's really weird. Eric from Lodi says, not a big fan of Santa Claus is Coming to Town either. Way overdone. It is. I do like Springsteen's song. And here's the weird thing. When I was younger in college, I had someone on my floor used to play that song all the time around the holidays with Springsteen. I got sick of it then. I wasn't as huge of a Springsteen fan then. Now I love it. And I think it's one of the coolest songs that a rocker has ever done of a Christmas song. But I get it, Eric. That's an overplayed one, certainly. Anna from Madison says, Pete, I thought of another Christmas song I dislike. Wonderful Christmas Time by Paul McCartney and Wings. Yeah. We just had Paul and Chris Piat and Kim Shefchick in here, and Paul said he didn't like the John Lennon song War Is Over. And I agree. They're just overplayed, and they seem sort of contrived, I think. Jim from Appleton's, sorry, I already read that one. Sherry says, good evening, Pete and Conrad. Good evening, Sherry. Mark from Prairie du Sac, he sent us the lyrics.
You got to sing it.
I can't sing it. I can't sing. He says, chipmunks roasting. This is to the Christmas song where it would be Chestnuts by Nat King Cole. But Mark from Prairie du Sac wrote us the lyrics in a text. He says, chipmunks roasting on an open fire, hot sauce dripping from their toes. You could almost already vomit. Yuletide squirrels, fresh filleted by the choir. They poked hot skewers through their nose. Everybody knows some pepper and a garlic clove help to make them season right. Tiny rats with a crisp golden coat will really hit the spot tonight. And it goes on. That's awful. Thanks for doing the research, though, Mark. Paula from, that's Conrad's mom saying, I'm not a big fan of Grandma Got Run Over by a... Everybody in your family hates that song.
Yeah, my dad doesn't like the Christmas shoes either.
Well, both of those are fair game, I think. From the 608, the Comedy Club on State, this is in reference to our discussion with Jimmy Pardo about Wisconsin comedy clubs, said that the Comedy Club on State is the only comedy club in Madtown, as far as I know. I think that's right. Bridget from the 818 says, baby, it's cold outside. Sexist. Some say date rape. Creepy, not Christmas. You are not alone there, Bridget. A lot of people think that. It is kind of weird. I almost wish some of this hadn't been brought to light because what these people say about it is true. But I never just picked up on it. And I just kind of liked the song.
It's like the Love Actually kind of thing.
Yeah. With the creepy stalking.
Yeah.
The 17-year-olds. This is weird. Bridget continues saying, I'll be home for Christmas. It makes me sad. I like happy Christmas songs. My grandma always used to say that song made her cry, but she still loved it because my grandpa fought in World War II, and that was the song, supposedly, that people sang and thought of when the troops went off to fight in World War II. Maybe it was written for that. I don't know, but yeah, that's a good one, too. Thank you, Bridget. Steady Eddie. It's about time, Steady Eddie. Glad we caught this before we went off the air. He says, Pete, I hate It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year, sung by Andy Williams. Yeah. That one is seriously overplayed. And Steady Eddie continues. He says, it's just played too much on TV commercials. I mute it. Don't hate me, Andy Williams fans. I like Andy singing Moon River. I am with you, Steady Eddie. But there is much to go in this text. So stand by, folks. Maybe it's me getting ancient and bah humbuggy, but the older I get, the less I like Wisconsin winters. Snow, cold, and darkness. I am definitely with you there, Steady Eddie. Maybe you, Conrad, and me, and all of your SAD. Sad, he just means? Okay. Sad Wisconsin listeners should move to New Mexico, and you could broadcast Nite Lite from a warm, sunny, and snowless Las Cruces, or maybe Albuquerque. Oh, that kind of really brought me down.
So it was signed Sad Steady Eddie.
Sad Steady Eddie is how he, and there's no postscript.
That doesn't feel festive.
Yeah. I think my least favorite Christmas carol is that text from Steady Eddie.
I agree.
And I'm a huge Steady Eddie fan, but yeah, that brought me down, but not a bad idea. Thank you to Jimmy Pardo for making the popcorn pick of the week. That was really fun to catch up. And Doctors in Recital, represented by Kim and Paul and Chris Piat. That's always fun to have them here, too. Get your tickets now for the show, January 25th. And Mike Clemens, our old friend, always fun to talk sports with Mike. Thank you for all your texts. This was a great question. We got a lot of good responses here. We will be back tomorrow night with the favorite. What is your favorite Christmas tune? See what we did there, folks? We juxtapose it a little bit. Have a great night, everybody. I'm going to go take a steam and eat some Halls and maybe sing.
Sounds like a good dinner.
Sounds like a good dinner. All right. This has been Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba on behalf of the lovable producer, Conrad. Good night, Wisconsin.